I was waiting for you to say, and then you met me and realized I was a little lunatic.
Well, I didn't get to that part yet. You said it.
Yes.
I didn't. Ray, so many people know who you are, and I can't imagine the thousands or hundreds of thousands of people who are in heaven because of your ministry.
Yeah, or the people that have harmed themselves because he was talking to manic depressive people and getting them to internalize how terrible of a person they are. How many of those people are there? You know, that's what I really want to know about. But we're gonna, this is a show called The Takeaways. Kirk Cameron has his own little show on the Christian Broadcast Network, and we're gonna watch a little bit of it. So I am Brentley. And this is the Punk Apostate. Let's go.
I truly mean that. That's not an exaggeration.
So like I said, this is The Takeaways, some show that Kirk Cameron's got. Wow, that bubble is really looks like Ray Comfort's like The Takeaways with Kirk Cameron. It's like right where his like he's in a comic book right now. It's kind of weird. All right, so yeah, we're gonna get into it.
We've got a glorious gospel, Kirk. Give me wisdom.
Ever seen someone do what you did? I watched this video of this guy who was marching through the middle of a Hare Krishna convention in New York City, and you were carrying a casket with these pallbearers, and everyone was dressed in black, and you set up this mock funeral, got everybody's attention, and then let them know that each and every one of us also has an appointment with death. And then you preach the gospel.
Okay, so he he marched in the street like a weirdo with a casket and people pretending to have a funeral to remind everybody of the thing that everybody already knows about. They're like, oh, by the way, you're not immortal, and everybody's like, whoa, so glad that Ray Comfort's here to teach these things.
Gospel to them. And I thought you were like a modern day John the Baptist, and you spoke so.
The weirdo that wore like snake skin or whatever, or he ate snakes or something, or ate scorpion. He did a lot of weird stuff. I don't know. I always just remember that from the DC Talk song. They thought he was strange from the locusts he ate, but the Pharisees tripped when they heard him speak until the king took the head of his Jesus free. Anyway, it's an old song. Anyway.
Articulately and reasoned so well with people who were skeptics, and then you just reeled.
Gisela said, yeah, not creepy at all. No, not at all. Yeah, just a funeral. Like, explain this to kids. You got your kids, and they're like, why are they doing that? Why are they walking down the street with a casket? And they're like, well, kiddo, that's just so you know that you're gonna die one day, and your life will be over, and you won't exist at all anymore. Yeah. Better talk to that guy, and then he can fix that. He can make you live forever. As a spirit that just has to worship some magical being that loves torturing people for some reason, but you get to live forever. That's the takeaway here, right?
Them in with the gospel. It was masterful.
I was waiting for you to say, and then you met me and realized I was a little lunatic.
You are. Yeah. I mean, look at your face right now. Yeah, I'm a lunatic. Yeah, dude. Look at you.
Well, I didn't get to that part yet.
Wow, what a creepy laugh. I hope he wasn't doing this while he had the casket out, just looking at kids walking by. Just that would be, that would have been masterful, if you ask me. That's a masterful performance.
You said it.
Yes.
I didn't. Ray, so many people know who you are, and I can't imagine the thousands or hundreds of thousands of people who are in heaven because of your ministry. I truly mean that. That's not an exaggeration.
Yeah, GC, what's up, man? I said, could Kirk Cameron suck Ray's dick any harder? I don't think so, And yeah, I'd say, I know this. They do this all. This is almost the most uncomfortable part of these kinds of shows. is the dick sucking portion of it. It's just wow. I'm so glad that for the most part, now I've seen some weird stuff, don't get me wrong, in the atheist community, because sometimes we're just kind of like, kind of taken aback by the fact that, Aaron Rod said yes to come onto the show, right? Because he kind of catches a lot of us off guard. But for the most part, we don't do this whole like, oh, you're so amazing. You are masterful, Mr. Ra. You are wow. You're awesome. And I just want you to know that is the most uncomfortable shit it's like you can watch. And you're like, just, if you're a contact, don't do that. Just hang out with him like he's normal dude. Because he is, everybody is for the most part, but it's funny that Christian stuff seems to not get that. And I get, maybe they don't, I don't know. Maybe they're just not uncomfortable by that sort of thing because their whole thing is about worship. And so all the cringe is just not cringe anymore. I don't know. I don't know how it goes.
But for those who aren't familiar with the very beginnings, how did Ray Comfort, the great evangelist, come to Christ himself?
Good God.
For sake of humility, could you just call me your holiness in future? Because I'm
Oh,
embarrassed all those.
there's a joke right there. Ray's got jokes, man. He's like, could you just worship me real quick? No, actually, keep sucking back. Actually, you know what? Suck a little harder. Can you move that up and down for me there? Maybe cradle the. Anyway.
Sure.
Well, I got saved back in 1972.
Yeah.
I was tormented by the fear of death. Hebrews
And I haven't updated my appearance since.
2, verse 14, 15 says, every human being is haunted by the fear of death all their lifetime. It was the secret that I had that I didn't tell anyone about.
What? That's not true. That every human being is haunted by the fear of death. Wow, dude, you just needed to see all of this could have been solved if like the US had a better mental health care system, and Ray could have gotten the mental health care he needed and maybe wouldn't have gone and harassed people for the next 30 fucking years.
Got to the age of about 20 and just wept one night at the thought of losing Sue. Just my wife, if she died, newly married, I'd have nothing to live for. All my material things would mean nothing. So I just cried out, why am I alive? Why? Didn't even think I was praying. But God heard my prayer. 6 months later, I heard the gospel. The thing that converted me was the words of Jesus in Matthew 5. You've heard it said by them of old, you shall not commit adultery. And I remember thinking, well, I've never committed adultery.
Yeah, but you do it in your heart if you even look at a woman. So there you have done that. Have you ever lost it? Oh, God. It's just like the fact that works on people is just fascinating to me. But all right, let's see what we got here. What do we got here? Okay, so this is in response. I got to show you the other one. So, Andrew said this comment about Kirk Cameron sucking Ray off, right? And asked me a little bit harder. And he said, it would be purple if he did it any harder. So, that's because you need the context for that, I guess we could just make up what could be purple, but I think that one was actually better to take in the actual context instead of making something fun out of it. But anyway, Amber said, hey, Amber, what's up? No one knows what it's like to be Banana Man. To be Cameron's man, telling all these lies. I know, no one knows what it's like to be the Banana Man, to be Cameron's man. All right, sorry.
I'm fine. And then I read the words, but I say to you, whoever looks on a woman to lust for her has committed adultery already with her in his heart. Yeah. And that's when it's like an arrow hit my chest. And I realized if God saw my thought life, I was in big trouble on Judgment Day, and that's when I understood the cross.
That's when I understood how manipulative I could be. If I just tell everybody that we, the magical, undetectable being that I believe in so much sees what you think and knows when you lust.
Came to Christ, born again, new heart, new desires. And I was like a madman with joy that God had plucked me out of darkness, out of death.
Hold on, let's look at that face again.
Came to Christ, born again, new heart, new desires. And I was like a madman with joy that God had.
His face. Ray. Ray.
Pluck me out of darkness, out of
I
death.
am going to make it clear. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I can't remember if this one sets off any kind of copyright things. If it does, I'm going to put it on Patreon or whatever. So, if you want to watch it there, I'm putting like free stuff up on Patreon too, but there is a lot of like stuff that you have to become a member for, but there's going to have some free stuff too. So I have a free one up there right now. So I don't know. This might end up just going up there as as one of the paid levels. If I get dinged. If not, then it's not, none of this matters. But
And brought me into life. And so I started giving out gospel tracts. I actually purchased a printing press and put it in our home, put scripture on our car. It's sign writing and professional sign writing. Purchased
what? He said he purchased a printing press? Is that what he just said?
a huge bus, put scripture around that. Started preaching in the local square in the heart of our city, Christchurch in New Zealand, city of 350,000 people, and did that almost every day for 12 years.
Jeez.
Because I'd found everlasting life and there's no way I was going to keep quiet. So I look on myself.
They always do this. They're so sure of themselves. Like, I figured it all out. And so I just had to tell everybody all the crazy, awesome things that I figured out. Now everybody needs to believe me and do exactly what I tell them to do. And my version of my beliefs, is the absolute perfect one, So you better, even if you're another Christian, you need to convert to my type of Christianity, okay? Because I'm the right one.
Myself as a normal biblical Christian. Nothing special.
Normal biblical Christian. I'm sorry. There's nothing normal about it, buddy. Okay. You're worshiping an undead carpenter ghost that you think lives inside of you. Blood sacrifice. None of this is normal. Okay. You can say that it's normal. It's not normal. Okay. Blood magic is not normal. All right. You're like one step removed from pitching virgins into fucking volcanoes. Okay.
Well,
it's like Matt Foley. Well, let me just get on the right track. Like, what are you doing? Look at this.
you're certainly a unique Christian and somebody who comes to Christ and says, oh, I've got my sins forgiven. I'm not going to hell. I've got eternal life. That's enough for many people, but you took that to the next level and then devoted your life to evangelism. Why did you do that? Why not apologetics? Why not prosperity?
Definitely not apologetics. That's one way that he cannot even get his brain to get anywhere near what would be required for apologetics. And a great example of this is if you watch the debate with him and Matt Dillahunty. Oh my God, that was the most embarrassing debate. Like, you're just like, the whole time he's just trying, Ray's just trying to do his little emotional manipulation thing. And Matt's just like, can we actually talk about like the facts, dude? Like, can you stop trying to like just say my name over and over and make eye contact like I'm a fucking, like you're a pickup artist or something, and just actually like engage the logic? Can you do that? And he's like, I cannot. I'm sorry. I don't know how to, Lord, I don't even know how to say that.
Teaching, why not becoming a pastor? You were an evangelist.
Well, if you're in a lifeboat and people are drowning around you, why not polish the brass? Why not eat soup? Or would you rather reach out and pull them in? So when you realize evangelism is on the heart of God, that's why Jesus died, then that's what you do. You follow in the footsteps of Jesus. Follow after me and I'll make you to become fishers of men. So every Christian should be utterly consumed.
That was just a major dig right there against all like Christians that don't go out and harass people all the time. You know what I mean? It's like, well, if people are drowning around you and you start polishing the boat, you're an evil person that doesn't care about other people. That's what that is. You need to do exactly what I do. Otherwise, you're a bad person.
In horror at the thought of anyone dying in their sins. Every day just about takes my breath away that there are people out there that don't know why they're alive. They're haunted by the fear of death. They've got no hope in the gospel. They're like a man on the edge of a plane, knows he has to jump. He's got no parachute. 10,000.
Oh my God. He uses the same four fucking. How do people watch this guy over and over that aren't making fun of him? Because I feel like the making fun of him part, like kind of, it evens it back out again. But the people that aren't making fun of this guy watching him hear the same like two fucking metaphors over and over and over again. How much you want to bet he's going to do the one in just a minute here? I bet you he's going to do the one where he's like, your doctor tells you that you got a terrible disease or whatever, and he's going to offer you the cure, but he has to convince you that you actually do have the disease because you're not going to believe the doctor for some reason. So like he's got to show you the x-rays, and Ray's version of x-rays is just believe the Bible thing, but the Bible here, the moral law is what he calls it, which is the 10 Commandments, which most of it's not even moral at all. But anyway.
1,000 feet. Horrified. That's what drives me to reach out to the lost, because if God has really taken your heart and changed you and written his law upon your heart, he will cause you to...
And written his lore upon your heart? What, like it's a fucking fantasy world? He's doing world building there? Like, what do you mean? The lore. That's funny. Let's see here. What we got? Oh, hey, a couple more people here. Yeah. Hey, Carrie, what's up? Good morning, beautiful people. Hey, good morning to you as well. Thank you. And thank you, by the way. I did actually exfoliate earlier this morning, so I'm pretty happy with it. It's not too bad. Skin's looking better. Carrie said, I don't fear death. Yeah, I don't either. What's the purpose of that? What's the point? Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? The time to worry about something is when there's evidence that it's warranted. That's where I'm at. I used to worry about so much shit. You know what I mean? Just all this dumb shit. And I think it's because I was conditioned to worry about shit, and to constantly be like, you got to worry about all this stuff. But remember, God's got you. You got to worry. And it's just a mechanism to try to get you to rely on the magical beliefs. Right. And so they stress you out, and then they give you the cure for the stress that they just caused. Right. Like, you're gonna die, but it's cool. I got a thing for it. I got a thing. Just but you're gonna die. And it's there's magical undetectable monsters all around you trying to get you to ruin your life. But we got a cure for it. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to be afraid. You should be afraid, but you don't have to be totally if you do our thing. You only have to be afraid if you don't do our thing. Like that. That's just their little thing. So I was just constantly afraid of like what what could happen, what might happen, all that type of shit. Right. And finally, after just like, I think snapping out of these beliefs for so long, now I'm just like, I'll worry about stuff when I have good reasons to know that the thing that I could be worrying about is actually going to happen. You know what I mean? Or when it has happened, or when it starts to happen, whatever. I need evidence that something is actually going to happen before I start going, holy shit, I need to worry about this. It's because it doesn't mean I don't take precautions or anything like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like worrying, like staying up at night worrying about things doesn't make sense until you have good reason to think that the thing that you're worrying about is actually reasonable to worry about. That's my point. As I said, is it Xmas already? Banana Boy and Crocoduck together. I know, right? I forgot. That's right. He did the Crocoduck. What Ray was there for that one too, right? The whole Crocoduck stupid thing where there's like, it's like, why don't we tell everybody exactly how badly we don't understand evolution? Because there'd be fucking crocoducks. There's no crocoducks. That must mean that it's magic that created everything and not natural selection. Like, I feel like that everybody always forgets what they're arguing for when they do this. Well, I don't know how everything could come about by chance. Okay, so magic then. I'm like, well, I just don't know how it could be by chance. Okay, then you're saying magic though. It's like they always forget what they're actually arguing for. They're just like, I can't figure out how this happened this way. And then you're like, so the answer is magic. And that usually causes them to go, oh, wait, okay, hold on. But, or they'll usually just reset and make some other stupid argument that is the same argument or same fallacy. I can't figure it out, therefore magic. Carrie said, I'm not having lust looking at these two. It's more like indigestion and annoyance. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Oh, God. They're not, Ray especially, Kirk, at least, well, he looks like a man child, though. I don't know. Yeah. Now, either way, not good. Not good on either side of this stage here. But, yeah. Let's see. Carrie said, so good morning. Good morning, beautiful, with your beautiful demon face. You look at that. gorgeous. Morning, sunshine. Was everybody flirting in the fucking chat? It was like, hey, you looking beautiful. Like, what is happening? Okay. Sexual harassment. Okay. What, you know, let's keep it a propes. All right. What are you doing? He think, Drusilla said he thinks he's normal. I define normal. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of funny when they say like normal. Because what does that mean? You know, normal to who? Because it's very subjective. So, but it's funny because like I feel like most people think they're normal. You know what I mean, right? But I mean, there's those few that like get it. They get it. Like I'm fucking weird. Like me, I get it. I'm weird. Okay, and I know that, and that's fine with me. You know, I don't care. You know, it kind of keeps me pleasantly away from all those normies that are weird to me because they're normal. So weird, all right? You know. And so I said, don't know what's worse, Kirk's acting or his logic. Oof, I would argue his logic. His acting, yeah, I mean, he could still probably get in a soap opera or two, you know, probably play out that amnesia, like you know, see, you know, he could do like that whole storyline probably pretty good, you know, but that's about it. There's beyond that, there's nothing. Yeah, you can't. Oh man, you know what I need? I want to go back and watch. Is that one about Christmas? Is it that one? It's like Kirk Cameron saves Christmas or some shit. I want to see that one a bit again, man. I haven't seen that in forever. And I remember the acting just being so bad that I was just like, wow, how did they, you know, there's just times when you watch these Christian movies and you're just like, why didn't they do that again? Why didn't they say cut? Why didn't they cut and then take it back, you know, to the last they're just like, no, we don't do that. Unless, and then it makes you wonder, was that like 17 takes and that was the 19th take or whatever, you know, was that like the 17th take? And they're just like, fuck it, god damn it, Kirk. All right, we're moving on. We're moving. I don't fucking care. Okay. It's dude can't talk like a human, but whatever. We're moving on. I'm so what the hell, Kirk? How did the acting fall out of your brain since you were a child? What happened? My goodness. Gary said, apologetics as a faith choice. Okay. No, I think they were, yeah, sort of. Okay. Because, you know, they're acting like it was all these different choices and he could have gone into apologetics, which no, he couldn't have because his brain just doesn't work that way, which has become abundantly clear. That's why he has to be a presuppositionalist. Otherwise, nothing works, which nothing has to work if you're a presuppositionalist. If you're a presuppositionalist, evangelical Christian or whatever, you're just starting from your conclusion and then being like, why don't you just do my thing? Just believe my thing. I'm starting from my conclusion. You need to do that too. And that's it. That's their whole debate tactic, you know? And then usually if they question anything, it's just, how does anybody know anything? Exactly. Believe my thing, you know, believe my thing. Just do it. Like tends to be the presuppositionalist way. But yeah, I don't think his brain works reasonably enough to even begin to be an apologist. But yeah, as a faith choice though, I guess that was just like the direction that they could go as far as like spreading like the evangelical part of it all, like spreading the gospel. And yeah. It's funny too, because like I feel like a lot of the apologists, when I'm watching them now, they have to know. They have to know how silly they sound most of the time, that they're literally just rationalizing around everything they think all the time. They have to, you know. It's like I would almost rather them do the Ray Comfort thing and just act like they're right out the gate. I feel like that's more honest because when you go starting to learn logic and everything, and you're like, you know, still trying to make arguments with a functional understanding of logic, and you're still trying to make arguments for this idiotic nonsense. It's just, dude, you sound just so dishonest with yourself. It's unbelievable. As I said, doesn't Kirk polish Banana Boy's knob? We were just talking about that. You missed it at the beginning, bud. Yeah. That's one of the first comments, actually. Take it back and watch. You'll see. I don't want to put that image in anybody else's head again, so I'm trying to avoid I'm trying to avoid people having to picture Ray's naked body because I feel like dude, that's offensive. That's downright fucked up. You know what I mean? Let's see. Carrie said, God does not let you pull people into the boat. No, yeah, because he's talking about everybody drowning around you. Yeah, God's like, hold on, hold on. Now I can see their hearts. Now that one needs to die. And I created him just to be tortured forever because I knew he wasn't going to pick it. It doesn't matter how much you tell him. So he needs to just drown and be tortured forever. Well, that one, we got to let him drown a little longer. Okay, we got to let him drown a little longer. Now, just they need to have a few more terrible, terrible things happen in their life before they actually finally are like, okay, now we'll believe in the magic nonsense. Yeah, God's pretty bad. He's pretty bad, doesn't exist. But if he did, he'd be pretty bad, especially if it's that one, the one that's in that book. Carrie said, you only get to choose for one. I don't know exactly what you're referring to. Carrie said, he has to try to take credit for the good folks that are not Christian, is my guess. He has to try to take credit for the good folks that are not Christian. Well, okay, and I don't know exactly the context in which you're referring to, but a lot of times what that makes me think of are those like apologetics where people talk about Christians, because who was it? I think it was Hitchens, but it was like there's nothing that a Christian person could do morally that a secular person or an atheist couldn't do for just other reasons, but there are things that the Christian would, like bad things, harmful things that the Christian would do that the atheist wouldn't do. Right. So this argument is like y'all do more harm than good, and the good things that you do can be you can be reasoned to without your God beliefs. So you're not doing, it's not better. In other words, your morality is not better. But they always try to say that secular morality is like copying Christian morality. Like, but they copied it. From what, man? The Bible verse about murdering your kid if they talk back? Is that the verse that we took the morality from? What about the slave part? Did we take it about the like beating your slave? No, not that part. Okay. What about the genocide? It must have been the genocide. That's where we figured out that your book is super moral. No, man. The book's nonsense. And it's got more harm than anything in it. Drusilla said, but in that case, wouldn't it be the doctor who made me sick just for me to do what he wants to get the cure? Yeah, that is, that's like that Bad Religion song, God's Love. Yeah, it's a cause and a cure. Exactly. They get you sick, or they convince you that you're sick. Not even really sick. They just convince you that you're sick so that they can sell you the cure. Because the manipulation aspect of it is all there is. It's just believe my thing, let me scare you and then offer you a solution to the fear, but it's a very narrow solution that means you have to do what I want you to do if you want to get rid of this fear that I just caused you. It's really fucking manipulative. Ember said, even worse, Eric Covine and other junior grifters. God, I keep forgetting about Eric Covine. I need to look up some of his videos, dude. And that Powell guy, God, he's so funny. Powell is hilarious. I don't know how I've neglected to cover him for a while. Even worse, Eric Covine and other junior grifters copied Ray's script. Oh yeah. Oh, they yeah, they don't know how to think at all for themselves. Like, it's amazing how often I'll hear exactly his rhetoric repeated by other people. I was just watching, what was it? Sorry, 1 second, Ember. I was just watching, I think it was a Professor Plank show. It was like in the past 2 weeks or something like that. So it's pretty recent. And there's some dude, and he was doing this like anti-evolution thing. And dude, it was verbatim. He copied him. And then it's like several others, Professor Plank is so good. He's been doing it for so long. He knows exactly he knows exactly who these people are, mimicking or repeating, parroting, and it's like, okay, so that was this person, that's this, but do you have an original thought, man? Like, damn, you're just like copying all of these apologists word for word and then just smashing them all together and then acting like it's your brand new argument that you just came up with. And it was even like the dumbass fucking the painting needs a painter bullshit, just like the dumbest possible argument in my mind. Like, it's just like, yeah, okay, but reality's not a painting. You get that right? Shit. Well, what if it was? You don't know if it's not. Yeah, we actually do. Well, let me see here. Where we go? And we said, and we found crocoducks. We kind of did, actually, which is kind of funny because we got dinosaurs between dinosaurs and birds, right? Like we have evidence of them with feathers on them. I remember, God, I was so like like raised with my anti-evolution nonsense, right? And I remember when Jurassic Park 3 came out. God, what a terrible fucking movie. But yeah, that movie was just so boring. This is not good. This is not a good movie. And I feel like they kind of just took it out of the canon, right? Like they just acted like that movie didn't happen, right? And then they did Jurassic World, and they're like, part 1 and part 2 happened, but not part 3. Anyway, and the dinosaurs in those movies, I remember the raptors, like started to look like birds, because that was supposed to be kind of the thing, right? That they were slowly evolving to look like birds. And so yeah, and I just remember being like, this is bullshit. Look at it. What's bright blue? A bright blue raptor with feathers. This is stupid. This is so stupid. God clearly made those raptors to just be raptors. Fucking dumb. It's like getting mad in a movie for that level of stupid. Like, oh God, how embarrassing. Emberson, Brentley's gonna call HR on us. I fucking will. No more sexual harassment. I know I sell sex toys and everything, y'all, but can't be harassing each other in the chat, right? Calling each other sexy and good looking, and no, stop it. This is business relationships only. Okay, we got to make sure we don't talk about stuff you can't talk about at work. No politics, religion, or money. And so money's the only one that we're not doing. Let's see here. Carrie said, non-touching in chat. I'm like waiting for the next comment to be like, licking your face with a little star next to it. It's like, I'm licking your face right now. Like, shit. HR, Aunt Jeer, hello. Hey, can you licking my fucking face? Jesus. Drusilla said, purity pressure in chat. That's right. That's why we don't want the sexual harassment, because it's not pure, because the Lord said that if you lust after someone in the chat with your heart, and you basically fucked them. So shit, dude, like it's just a fucking orgy going on right now. and that was fun. Yep. I laughed as well. LOL. I know, right? I get it. Good morning. Good morning. Damn, I hate being late. Sorry. Well, I had to go early today because I don't have a ride to work, so I have to do an extra. Anyway, sorry. And to go early. That's my point. Let's see. Carrie said, Michael, good morning, gorgeous. Carrie, what did we just fucking talk about? Okay. Inappropriate. Okay. You can't be just calling people gorgeous like that. That is deeply offensive. It's funny because it works the one direction, and I get it that like gender is not as much of a thing anymore and shouldn't really be. But I will say that women tend to be harassed more than not, right? Just on a sheer volume, like percentage wise, right? But it's like you call a guy gorgeous, like a woman can call a guy gorgeous, and he's like, thank you. But if you do that the other way around, it's like, what the fuck? It's like, so just don't do that. There's this guy I work with, and he's like the sweetest guy. He really is, and he's just trying to be nice, but it's like he gets himself in trouble so often by being too nice and be like, well, looks like you're working out, man, because he's all about like fitness and stuff. Looks like you're working out. Like, and people are like, don't say that to people. that can be taken wrong. Okay, I'm just saying, like, I know you're trying to be nice, but that's nope. Don't say it like that. Just say you look great. You know, that's it. Don't have to comment on the fitness part of it. I don't know. And it's funny because it has literally gotten people to come to talk to me. Like, can you ask him to not talk about that? And be like, shit. All right. Hey, buddy, we got to have a talk. Stop telling people they look super fit, especially women. It's freaking them out. Okay. It's funny because it's all about how it's received. Anyway, Carrie said, I was actually just thinking about you, Michael. Oh my God, what is going on? Go to adamandeve.com. Do it right. Get some fucking toys before you start talking like this. Carrie said, I was damn, there's a lot of Carrie. I was a long what? It was a long thought train that started with Kirk, bounced around a bit to Michael Landon, and then I thought about you. It's like, you know, we're weaving a tale here, you know. That's funny. I can see the Michael Landon thing. That I get. That was the most relatable part of that. Anyway, Al said, "Hell." That's how he said it, right? That was your reflection. Hell. I don't know. Carrie said, Al, hell beautiful. But Carrie is just on a harassment tear here. All right. We're just wow. My goodness. Amber said, hey Al. Let's see. I keep having to make phone calls with my phone. Damn it. I hate that. Yeah, it sucks when it's all in one like that. You know what I mean? Trying to watch a movie, talk to your friend, and listen to a podcast. And it's like it's all in the same thing. You can't, you know, it's not, and they cancel each other out. You can't do all at the same time. It's annoying, you know? It's like every time I put on music with my little speaker and I turn it up pretty loud and put like a punk song on or something, right? And then I'll be looking through stuff and somebody will be like, instant messaging me a TikTok, and then I push it, and then it's this loud fucking TikTok that just blasts out of the speaker that's right by my ear because it was turned up for the music. And then Nikki comes out and goes, "What's going on? Who's on the porch? Who are you talking to? What's happening?" And I'm like, "It was just the fucking TikTok. Shouldn't have pushed it, but I forgot I was listening. Anyway, sorry, my bad. Fuck." Yeah. Al said, "Hi, Gary Rowland. I can't really chat properly, but I'm listening to our man here, Amber. to our man here, Amber. Ember. Okay. But I get how that's an easy mistake to make. Yeah, that's okay because he's trucking, you know. So again, don't be, you know, don't be texting and driving, especially if you're driving a semi. Okay, don't do that. That could be dangerous. This is okay. Good. I'm glad that you clarified. So Al said, "This is speech to text. So try to interpret what I'm saying." Got it. No, it's again because the truck driving. Got it. Very very responsible on your end, I have to say. Drizilla said, "Hey, how did your kidney thing go?" Oh, yeah. Well, that's I don't know if you want everybody to know about it. Sorry. Al did not get a kidney thing. Worked. His kidneys are awesome. Your kidneys, you need to go get your kidney checked. Don't think about his. So sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't. I watched that Professor Blink episode this morning. No shit. That's so funny. Yeah, Michael said, because yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I can't remember who it was, but he just stole like 7 different like fucking argument, and it's like at least apply like part of the fun, I think, of like listening to like atheists break stuff down and you know break down the logic and use the metaphors that they come up with is figuring out how to understand what they're saying well enough to be able to reapply it to a different metaphor. That's part of the fun. It's also like a good way to know that you're actually getting what they're talking about, because if you just are repeating the exact same metaphors and shit verbatim, do you really get what they're saying? You know what I mean? Do you actually understand what the arguments are? Because if you can't reapply it to something else, I don't think you know the actual argument. That's why I try really hard some of the metaphors are too good for me to not, when it comes but I really try very hard not to just like repeat Matt Dillahunty or Aaron Ra or somebody verbatim. You know what I mean? I try to come up with my own shit, you know, so just again, to make sure I understand it well enough to be able to do that, because I understand that a lot of times some of the stuff can be complicated. But anyway, oh no, I'm putting up that. I'll let him. y'all can talk about it anyway. In Jurassic 1, the fake mirror was on the wrong side of the Jeep. What? Oh, you're gonna mess up one of my favorite movies, aren't you? God damn it! The fake mirror was on the wrong side of the Jeep. What do you mean? The rear view and the front seat of the? Are you talking like when the drink is like shaking in that part, and it was on the wrong? It's gonna bother me with this now. No, I'm not gonna. This is gonna be hard for me to recover from mentally. I'm gonna have to go watch this now. I'm gonna have to call up Nikki. Nikki, we're gonna have to watch Jurassic Park tonight because Michael said there's a problem with the mirror. We got to get to the bottom of this. Okay, start googling now because we need to. I'm gonna have it queued up by the time we get home. Come on. Yeah. Let's see. All right, I'll put this one up. It's not too intrusive. But Al, about the kidney thing, is saying, I'm alive and other than being in pain and sore, fairly tired. I'm all right. Good. I just delivered a crane and now I'm bringing a boat back down soon. Wait, you're still working? You just had surgery and you're still working? Fuck, man. Capitalism sucks sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus Christ. It's just fucking wow. Anyway, Michael said I tried to love everyone. Some people just run too fast. That's what you got. Try to love everybody, but so I try to catch them and then they run away. They call me creepy and stuff. It's weird. I don't get it. Gary liked that one, of course. She's like, I was going to say that exact joke. Shit. You took my joke before I got a second to say. Bad touch, Michael. Bad touch. Don't do. Al said, good to hear. Or Drizzle said, good to hear. You're still fighting. So sorry I have to deal with this. Pain can be exhausting. Yes, totally agree. All right, let's watch more of this stuff that's going to give me a copyright strike.
Walk in his statutes. In other words, you will naturally love God with heart, mind, soul, and strength. And so the analogy I use...
You naturally are going to do that. What if you get them afraid enough? Is that what he's talking about?
When I talk about evangelism to Christians, is say, could I ever get you to jump into a pond that's about 5 feet deep and it's got big chunks of ice in it and it's so cold it'll kill you in 3 minutes? You say, no. What's a 4-year-old boy fell in?
Is that a thing that happens? Is if there's big chunks of ice in about 5 feet of water, you will die in 3 minutes. I feel like that's a stretch. I think he's cutting off a few minutes there, but I don't know. But hey, Kasumi, what's up? It's been a minute. You doing all right? Glad to see you hanging out. Cool.
And there, and his feet wouldn't touch the bottom, and he's drowning. You wouldn't hesitate to jump in because love will do that. You'll grab him and pull him out.
Well, I think I would figure out some kind of way to not jump in. You're like, if somebody's, getting sucked into the earth from quicksand, you're like, and he's going to die. Do you jump in to die with them or not? And you're like, yeah, no, that's not what. Why would I? No, I'm going to go find a snake, just like in Indiana Jones, the weird one with the crystal skull things, and then tell them it's a rope. Just be like, no, it's just a rope. Don't worry about it. And then they, pull them out with the snake rope thing.
Perfect love casts out all fear. And the waters of personal evangelism are freezing. There's no denying that. But if we love sinners, we'll push aside our fears and grab them. So if you've got problems with fear when it comes to evangelism, don't pray for less fear. Pray for more love.
Very practical, Ray. He's really thinking about the science of what to pray for. Don't pray for less fear. You got to pray for more love, and that automatically lessens the fear. Okay, dude. Sure, buddy. Whatever you say. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, sounds a bit. Giselle said, sounds a bit yikes. Yep. Yeah, it does kind of sound a bit yikes. Carrie said, Rose, good morning. Hey. Ember said, did we just tell us to jump in a lake? He kind of did. A frozen lake at that, or a frozen lake that's so cold that you only got 3 minutes before, I guess, the nitrogen of the lake crystallizes your cells. I don't know. What the fuck kind of lake is that, man? Jesus. Because if you said naturally, maybe if you abolish real education. What? I feel like that's a conversation I missed half of. I don't know. Thank you, Carrie. A lovely morning to you as well. Tips hat. Like that, My hat makes a noise when it tips. See? Like that. It's because it's suctioned onto my head. There's actually peanut butter under there. Don't ask me why. It was a weird night. Okay, it was a weird night. Carrie said, I'm stressing this morning. It makes me feel better knowing I'm surrounded by amazingly beautiful people. Well, hey, that's okay. And I get that. The beautifulness of the people surrounding me always determine my emotional state as well. So I get it. Al said, it's a great day to listen to my Banana Man song after watching Bentley talk about our comfort year. Hell yeah, dude. Banana Man song is great. Ember said, HR note, do not grab the sinners. Yeah, don't listen to these guys, okay? They're going to get you arrested, all right? You listen to Ray basically about anything. Like imagine just saying some of the stuff that he says to people on the street to like somebody at work. Like, so you just admitted that you're an evil, terrible person that deserves to be tortured for all eternity. But I got a cure for it. Let's see. Kasimi said, hey, Gary, join the Discord. I'll chat with you there. Yeah. And I feel like I put another link out because I wasn't sure if the last one expired. I'm trying to make them so they won't expire, but they don't seem to, that doesn't seem to work very well. Seems like it's kind of like I have to just redo it once a week or once a month or something. Anyway, it's fine. But yeah, check it out. Go to our Discord. It's a lot of fun. Al said, I appreciate all the compassion and well wishes from the chat and from Bentley. You bet. Yeah, good. You'll be all right. You'll get it. It's gonna be fun. Kidneys heal right back up like that. They're like your mouth. They just just need a little hydrogen peroxide. You'll be. Don't put hydrogen peroxide in your kidney. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But no, I'm just glad that you're all right, man. Carrie said at this pause, Ray looks like Sonny Bono. Oh my God. Wow. That face too. Why does it look like he's gritting his teeth on purpose? Like, you know what? That fucking cold lake. I swear to God, a fucking lake. Michael said, objects in the mirror are closer than you appear is fake. What? Really? Oh, okay. I know exactly the part you're talking about. So when the T-Rex is coming out from the side and he's like, must go faster. Yeah, that I know. Yeah, great scene. Great. God, it's such a good movie. Anyway, all right.
That's the problem.
Don't pray for less fear, pray for more love. Ray,
I have to repeat it so I can really get it in the noggin there. Now, Ray.
Style of
so
evangelism
weird.
has been going out onto the streets, and I've gone there with you for years. We did the television show The Way of the Master, and you just ask people these crazy questions like, what do you think happens when you die? You ask them all.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was just wild.
All sorts of questions, personal questions about their secret thought life. What's been the response
That's
with such
weird way to describe that, right? You ask them questions about their secret thought life? Secret thought life? Okay. I mean, I think you could just say thought life. I feel like thought life has the secrecy sort of implied since nobody can know anybody else's thought. Anyway, you know what?
a bold and confrontational style of evangelism?
I have.
That's what everybody wants to hear. Like, you have a very confrontational style, buddy. It's like it's basically an MMA fight, okay? But for Jesus, with people on the street.
Been beaten up yet, but I sometimes watch the
I heard a
videos.
story once. That
Almost, okay? Remember that guy? And you're like, do you want to punch me? And he's like, a little, yeah, because you're a fucking asshole. It's like the guy told you he's already a Christian. You're like, I know, but he's not a good enough one. You want to get punched? Do you want to punch me? Why would you ask somebody, do you want to punch me? What a fucking weird. And he looks back at him just like, what? It's like, and you could tell he'd been drinking. He was just like, yes, I would like to punch you very much so, sir. Yes. But I'm actually abiding by secular morality right now. So I'm not going to do it, because I could just say that I believe that my God wants me to punch you right now, and I'd be justified using your morality. So be glad that I'm using the secular kind.
you were beaten up by a little old lady.
No, it wasn't. It was a young lady. It wasn't a little old lady. We've got to get this right.
Okay.
Details matter. What is this face? That is a terrifying face. Stop smiling, Ray. Stop. Learn stoicism or something. You need to fucking stoicize that face. Holy shit. You look terrifying here. Don't, dude.
And it was my fault, Kirk. Do you remember what happened? Santa Monica, preaching to about 40 people, when a young lady, probably early 20s, used the F word twice to describe me.
Whoa.
And I said, madam, can you watch your language?
Are you fucking kidding
There
me?
were ladies present.
Oh my fucking dude. Go fuck yourself, Ray. Jesus. Why do you get to tell people how to fucking talk? Fuck.
And that's what she
didn't go
said.
over well.
Jesus, fuck, man.
And she says,
What if I said you can't use like the word Jesus or something? You can't use like one of your Christianese words or something. You would freak you. You can't tell me. I get permission from God. What are the words I get to use, but I get to decide what words you get to use, which is like basically the conservative mantra. You don't get to tell me what to do. I don't even have to put a piece of fabric on my face to keep a virus from spreading, but I get to tell you what you're allowed to do, especially if you're a woman or, a parent of a trans child.
I'm a lady. I said, madam, you may be a woman, but you're not a lady. And that's when she ran at me like a bat out of heaven.
What the fuck is
and
wrong
started
with
beating
you?
me up. I thought just Mike.
What the hell does that even mean? You might be a woman, but you're not a lady? What an asshole. And he's telling this story, and he thinks he's justified in this. He's like, but she said the F word. Well, that's not ladylike. What are you fucking from the 1820s? Like, what are you doing, man? Not lady. Get the. I wish she would have just beat him, up. I mean, not killed him, but beat him up good enough to where somebody got a really good angle on it on Huntington Beach, just slamming his face into the sand repeatedly. It's like, please don't.
Tyson's sister, because she didn't scratch and pull hair. She just went, and she got on 6 punches.
And didn't sound like it. Does sound like they completely missed. You got to work on your sound effects, Ray. Okay, that would be. Okay, that's how you do. Actually, do go with the Indiana Jones.
And then when I was on the ground, she said to my team who are holding her back,
I mean, he basically was just like. That sounds like she missed.
You go, I want to get my handbag. And she didn't want a handbag. She just wanted to get in a kidney punch. Took 2 weeks for the bruising to go, but she doubled my crowd and she can come back anytime she wants.
She doubled your crowd. It's like getting beat up was actually kind of lucrative. That's when I hit the 1 million mark on my subscriber.
Ray, the first time that I met you.
It was like 90% atheists going, look at this little girl, like beat the fuck out of him. Repeat that shit. Can we rewind? Rewind again. Oh, this never gets old. She got like 7 punches in there. Yeah, that was awesome. Do it again. Come on, let's go back. Do it again. Come on.
Was terrifying. I had heard a message that you had given called Hell's Best Kept Secret. I thought it was a great title, and I listened to it, and it was a fantastic message because it helped me to share the gospel with my elderly.
Hell's Best Kept Secret? Is that what he said? Yeah, was that the greatest lie that he ever, or the greatest lie that the devil got everybody to believe that he doesn't exist, whatever he had. Yeah.
Grandmother. And I called you, we went to lunch together. As we walked in the door, you began passing out these little gospel tracts, and they were in the form of magic tricks and optical illusions. And I was sitting at the table waiting for my lunch.
Hold on. He handed out little tracks, but it was in the form of magic tricks and little illusions? How does that work? When he pulled all the tracks out from behind their ear, what are you doing? What does that mean? How does that work? He's just like got a fake thumb pulling out tracks. What? What are you talking about?
Guest to sit down with
And
me.
you also probably shouldn't be showing that you can do illusions to people when you're trying to convince them of magical beliefs because it kind of like works against your narrative. Just saying, which is why so many skeptics are also magicians and shit, or like into illusions and all that, because they can, you know, they get how much you can trick people's brains by, just playing with illusion type stuff. And that kind of works against all the religious narratives for that matter, because it kind of makes you go, huh, what if everybody was just like doing sleight of hand before they knew what sleight of hand was, you know?
And you were at table after table. And I thought, oh my goodness, he's one of those guys passing out gospel tracts. I was ready to hide underneath the table, but all the patrons were laughing. And
I want to see that. Can I see that? I wish he would have just been like, I'm just down here, just like Kirk Cameron under the table. Like, where'd he go? And then they like lift up the like little blanket thing that's all over the little table. He's like, put it down, put it down. He's like pulling it back down.
asking you for more of them. Your techniques of gospel tracts and street evangelism and open air preaching and what some would call confrontational one-on-one gospel sharing.
Are these really techniques? Can we really call them that? Or are they just like, all the only things that people have been, that religious people have been doing since the day, since the 70s, basically when he started doing it. Like he didn't like create any techniques here other than just figuring out how to be so politely, polite sounding with your voice that you can tell people they're evil, awful, terrible people straight to their face and then film them and be like, you're not allowed to react. I'm filming you.
Is not that comfortable for most people watching right now. Has it been effective?
No.
Whether it's effective or not doesn't really worry me. What
how
I
about
want
that?
to do is be
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's effective or not. My whole life's a big waste, but whether it's effective doesn't even, I don't care. I just know that if I don't go around harassing people, then I won't feel as bad when I die and don't go to heaven or hell after I die, because this stuff's not real. But I'm thoroughly convinced it is. So that's what matters.
faithful to what God told us to do. Go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. The way I know if someone's ready to hear the gospel is...
Hold on. Logan said, I'm not Ray Comfortable. I know the irony of his name being Comfort, and he literally makes everybody uncomfortable that he talks to, which is way too many people, and people that he has no business talking to. But that's just kind of funny. Right?
I ask myself, are they breathing? If they're breathing, they're ready. If they're dead, it's too late. So I want to share the gospel with every creature. And so I'm faithfully planting seeds.
I could just see him over there talking to a roach on the bench. Look, I care about you, okay? Do you have a lust for other roaches? Well, then you're going to hell.
And
every
God's
creature
the one that brings forth fruit. And you said, is it confrontational? I'll tell you what got rid of my fears more than anything else.
Yeah.
Because every Zacchaeus turns into a Goliath as I'm approaching them.
Is that okay? Jesus Christ, they have their own fucking language. It's sad that I know exactly what he means, but that's like if you said that to somebody from like another country that's unfamiliar with Christianity, you turn every Zacchaeus into a Goliath or whatever the fuck, they'd be like, "What are you talking about, man? What's a Zacchaeus? That sounds weird." First of all, it's Zach Morris, and he was awesome. Okay, and I was always on Team AC. Because, he seems a bit more cool than Zach. Zach was always just, kind of a bad person, actually. He was always ripping people off and manipulating. Anyway, fuck, what were we talking about? We were talking about a thing? What was Ray Comfort? That's right. All right.
And they never come to fruition, those fears. And the thing that's done it for me more than anything else is this one question: do you think there's an afterlife? I haven't mentioned God, Jesus, the Bible, heaven, hell, judgment day, sin, righteousness. All these things make him and me feel uncomfortable. I've just said, hey, how you doing? What's your name? He says, Fred. I'm Ray, Fred. Fred, I got a question for you. Do you think there's an afterlife? And people
And it's the that question kind of is funny to me because it seems like it is the one question that it is like it causes like people to because everybody I feel like most people have thought about that, but it just shows like the power of wishful thinking en masse, because most people want there to be an afterlife. And I don't know why, other than to believe in A, there's some type of cosmic justice, and B, they can't really fathom the idea of non-existence, right? So I think that's kind of like a time when we don't exist. To me, I think it's fucking comforting. You know what I mean? At this point, like it used to mess with me when I was a religious person, but that was because I was like programmed for it to mess with me specifically. But now I'm just like, oh, thank goodness. There's going to be some point where I just don't have to do this shit anymore. You know what I mean? It's yeah, that's comforting. That's why, and it almost makes me want to like do better now. You know what I mean? Like let's get some shit done. Let's have fun, but let's get things done. Let's make it so that more people can have fun. That's all my whole philosophy is funism, and it's spreading as much fun and encouraging as much fun to as many people as possible. Because if we can get more people to have fun, I think the world will be a better place. You know, that's my whole belief system. Funism. It's a thing. It's a thing now. God damn it. Okay. I made it up. That's why it's a thing.
go, I say, it's the big one, isn't it? I say, yeah, do you think about it much? Your own death? And he says, all the time. His all the time dissipates my fears. He's not the Antichrist. He hasn't stabbed me in the throat. He's a human being with a will to live, and he's interested in the message of everlasting life. You know, Kirk, think of how a waitress approaches a table. There's three guys sitting in three-piece suits. They've got little leather satchels, and they're very, very important, millions of dollars at stake. What does she do? Stand back and go, oh, these look like important men. Now she walks up and says, can I take your order? She just butts in. Why? Because she knows she has what they want. They're there to eat. So she comes up and says, what do you want to order? And they say, yeah, and they stop with them wheeling and dealing to talk to her.
See, this is like very much so in that whole used car salesman aspect of evangelical Christianity, right? It's we have something to sell and we have what they all want. Why? Because I've been convinced of that. That's what Ray's saying. I've been convinced that I have what everybody else wants, which is a golden amusement park afterlife, and meaning to life, which is to harass people, because I'm just so sure of my beliefs that I'm willing to like harass people on the street to convince them to do my beliefs, even though I feel like these beliefs being spread have demonstrably caused harm. But I mean, of course they wouldn't believe that. But yeah, it's just kind of interesting how it's just they truly believe they have what everybody else wants, and then they're just doing them a favor, by harassing them into avoiding the magical, undetectable torture chamber that's totes real. Probably, hopefully, maybe. I don't know. They're like, hopefully the torture chamber is real because otherwise this has been a big waste of time. All right, let me get some of these comments here, and then I'm gonna have to back it in. I gotta, like I said, I got some stuff I gotta do today. And hopefully this doesn't get me a copyright. So I had a whole fucking awesome video yesterday that I worked pretty hard on, and then got a copyright strike. First time that's ever happened to me with like the pre-recorded stuff where it does all the checks, and it got to a certain point with the check and was like, nope, can't do it. And I was like, what the fuck? And I think it's because I was covering Matt Walsh reacting to a John Oliver, and I don't think I would have gotten in trouble had I taken out the John Oliver portion, but I feel like that would kind of, I don't know, it almost kind of messed up the whole video. I might go back and try it again and see if it sets off any alarms the second time, but just sucked because I worked pretty hard on that. But anyway, it's up for free on Patreon. I posted it in the community section of the YouTube channel. If you want to watch it, it is free. It's up on Patreon. Yeah, it's pretty much, it's the only free one right now. I just, I was so irritated because I wanted to put it out, fully, but I couldn't. So it's on Patreon, and there's a lot of stuff on Patreon that's like that, stuff that I had made that just didn't clear the whatever bar, and so had to put it on Patreon. whatever. But let's see here. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? And Drizella said, I think it's really harassment. If we're talking about Ray Comfort, it absolutely is really harassment. Fuck yeah, dude. I mean, just because you know how like harassment in a lot of ways is how it's received, you know? It's like if you harass a nice enough person, it's not harassment, right? They're just like, cool, no, I'm just glad to be able to have the conversation, man. Like, then it's not harassment. But if a person's like a normal person, like, what the fuck, man? Why are you trying to like call me a bad person just because I'm walking down the street on Huntington Beach? What the fuck, asshole? According to your weird like religion that says it's okay to murder your own child. I'm not very comfortable. Let's see. Egotistical takes lots of. Oh yeah, weird. It's hard work, right? Yeah. Ember said, not a waste. It did make him very, very rich. That's actually a good point. He always likes to bring that up. That what was it? It was like, oh no, that was Isaiah the other day. But I feel like I've heard Ray Comfort say it too. That what was it? Like a man of God is never forsaken or something like that. And they like to use that verse, be like, well, hey, sometimes you got to be a millionaire. Sometimes God makes you a millionaire. Okay. And because God's men of God are never forsaken. So that's why I'm a millionaire, and other people down the street are starving. But, God picked me because I do the religion better. That's why other people are starving and I'm not. Okay. That's why I thank God for not starving. And then contribute to, work towards taking rights away from the people that are starving and actually blame them for it somehow. It's amazing. It's the people who suffer's fault, not the powerful people that can change things. It's the people who suffer. It's all their fault. They don't take personal responsibility. That's the problem there. Let's see. Carrie said, get the man some ant colonies. Oh, yeah. She's okay. Those they're kind of fun to watch. I used to have one. Problem is when they break, and then you got ants all through your house. And of course it happened because the cat did it. Because the cat just knocked it off of there, and then you don't even know it. And then you come home, you go to sleep after work, and then you wake up just covered in ants. Because you know how they get all over you, and then they blow the whistle to all bite you at the same time, and it happens in the middle of the night. I don't want to relive that trauma. Okay, I'm sorry. I got to move on past this. It's awful. As I said, if anything survives hell, it's going to be a cockroach. True. Yeah, that's why. That's why Ray was really trying to witness to it on the park bench, because he's worried about that cockroach. Fire starter, hey, fire starter, how we doing? Hey man, into some death and black metal as well. Yeah, it depends on what it is. I really like In Flames. They're like probably my favorite metal band. It's just sort of like metal, but I really like Lamb of God too. What's the God Forbid? I don't know why they all have God in the name. Now I think because that's just the mode that I'm on right now. I'm like on the so I'm thinking God stuff. But no, what is it? I really like the and I always forget what they're called. It's like Dark Castle and it's like Dark Castle in Swedish or something or German. Yeah, I think it's Dark Castle in German. They're really good too. They do this like circusy sounding one. It's like really fast, but like circusy. It's almost sounds like, but it's like metal. It's crazy, dude. It's an awesome song. I know it sounds really weird the way I'm explaining. If you heard it, you'd be like, oh, okay, no, that's cool. It's like it was on this compilation that like Arch Enemy is another great one. I really like that, and they have a woman vocalist who's just whoa, like just phenomenal. Anyway, sorry. All right, off on a fucking metal tangent here. But yes, I do like metal. That was the whole purpose of that. Is answering this question right here. Yes. Logan said, LOL. Well, hey, some of us like black metal, okay? I know you think it's funny and everything. They're screaming. Oh, they're just screaming. It's not that funny, okay, buddy? Don't yuck yums, all right? I don't yuck your yums. Yuck and yums just sounds so funny. I don't know why. I love saying that. It always makes people be like, yeah, yucking. No, I know exactly what you're saying, but it took me a second. And that's what this face is. I love it. It's just like one of the funnest things to say to people. Like, hey, don't yuck my yums. I don't know. It's just weird. Logan said, honestly, I totally feel that. After all, the crap I used to believe ending up with nothingness is wonderful. I know. What a fucking relief, right? Like, oh, thank goodness. There isn't all this magical bullshit that I got to fucking worry about. Like, just the potential eternal torture. And from every single different version of a religion that you're going to get it wrong according to somebody, you know? It's like, no, everybody's in hell to somebody else, or everybody's going to hell to somebody else, right? Even the fucking Calvinists and shit, or it's in there, and the Armenians thinking the Calvinists go to hell, whatever, just anything they can fucking divide over. You're always going to hell to somebody, Carrie said, responsible, respectful, and consensual fun. That's goddamn right, because HR is watching. All right. That is absolutely correct. Always ask for consent. Enthusiastic consent. Okay. Asso said, at least nothingness doesn't tell you you are a piece of shit. I know, right? Just saying, yeah. I mean, I guess it could. You want like a dickhead nothingness, so nothingness that's just fucking with everybody. You know what I mean? He's got an attitude. That nothingness has an attitude problem. That is. Logan said, nothingness never asked for a bag of 1,000 foreskins. God, I always forget about that. I need to go back and read that story because I keep hearing it brought up and I'm like, what? I forgot about that. But that's definitely in there. That's a part of it. Like God's like, you know what I need? Give me some foreskins. That would, that would actually smooth this whole thing over with me. If you can just, actually, get a bag. Okay. You could probably make a bag out of like the first, I don't know, 30 of them, right? Then put the rest the foreskins in the foreskin bag. Jesus Christ, Dahmer, what's going on here? What are you doing? You fucking weirdo. Jesus, Carrie's just having a blast today, man. She's just rolling on the floor right now, just laughing. I love it. Said deep fried foreskins, and the way it's deep fried foreskin. There's the Christian establishment that we haven't seen. There's the Christian establishment we deserve. It's not the one that we need right now, but it's the one we deserve. Like deep fried foreskins, go and get, okay? Blessed by God. Get your foreskins. Ew, carries. Let's see. Elephant ears are much better deep fried. Joyce, totes. Oh God, man, I haven't had a fucking elephant ear in forever. Love those things. So I used to have this. I used to live down the street from this like festival thing every year, and they would bring the fucking fair type stuff, all the rides and all that shit. And man, I used to have elephant ears every year, and then we moved. I haven't had one since. Yeah, it's not a real elephant, Logan. Logan's like, ooh, an elephant ear. It's not an actual elephant, man. That would be probably, probably inhumane. I'd imagine. Aren't they endangered or something? I hope not. Hope they're not. But still don't think we should be eating their ears, right? Asso said, dick tips on a stick. Jesus Christ. And if you want a stick for your dick tips, shit, well, I don't know. Okay, whatever. We're going with it. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley and at checkout to get 50% off any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Just go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley. That's Brently at checkout to get 50% off any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, free shipping on the whole order. And the packaging is discreet. Okay, they are not going to announce to everybody with a bugle when they drop off your box where it's from. That would be inappropriate. Even if you are asking for them to do that, I checked, they still don't. They don't do it. But if you go to adamandeve.com and enter that code Brentley. You can get a ton of exclusive offers that they got there. It's almost 10 free gifts, basically. It's like 10 things that you get for free, including the free shipping. It's pretty great. And like some of them are like special gifts. It's a lot of fun. And as you can see here, tons of stuff. The bottom at the bottom there, those aren't like the sex robots or anything. Those are just lingerie. Just want to feel like I feel like I need to make that clear. Those, you can't buy the actual women. That'd be weird, you know. And they're not masturbators themselves. It's the lingerie. Anyway, you know, I could see it getting confusing. Okay. But no, go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brentley, and get your exclusive offer. I actually got to head out for the day, but thank you all so much for hanging out. This was super great. If you want to become a patron, like I said, I have a video up there for free right now, just because I couldn't put it out on YouTube. So if you want to go watch it, it's making fun of Matt Walsh. I think it was really great. I had a great time making it. If you want to go watch it, it'd be cool. It's free. Yeah. And if you want, after watching that, if you want to become a patron, you can do that. You know, that's cool. But if you don't want to, you know, to go through all of that, you know, stuff coming out of your bank account every month or whatever, it's only a month, and you can do like $1 a month. Honestly, it's really, you know, really affordable. I try to make it affordable. But if you don't, you know, if you don't want to go through all that, you know, I totally understand. You can just do a one-time payment at Cash App, and our cash tag is Punk Apostate. And I'm not going to read the name, but I will read the dollar amount and the for section. So if you write something in the for section, it's like just a little like one liner. You can write a couple words. We'll read those and we'll talk about it. You know, and, you know, maybe make a couple jokes or something like that. Do a bit. We'll do a full bit out of your. So, you know, give me something I can yes and to. You know what I'm talking about? You know, I'll do a full bit for you, voices and all. Okay, that's so go to Cash App, and our cash tag is Punk Apostate. But hey, main thing though, and seriously, thank y'all so much for hanging out. And yeah, I really appreciate, you know, you giving me your time like this. It's really big deal to me, seriously. So thank you so much. But the main thing though is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate. And we'll see you next time.